All right, Panther fans, how's everybody doing? So I've been waiting for this one for a while. The 20 game review, so to speak. Um, before the season started, I did a prediction for every 20 games, laid out what I thought the record and points would be. You guys know the ending. I said we were going to win the cup, so I said every 20 games I'd come back and touch upon uh, not just a prediction, but where the team is, what's as expected, what's not as expected. So let's jump into it. Let's just start this right off right here with the NHL standings. Well, I'm gonna do the Eastern Conference. So the Atlantic, you got the Bruins, 36 points, Maple Leafs at 29, the Red Wings with 26, the Lightning with 25, the Canadians with 23 points, the Panthers with 22, the Sabres with 18, and the Senators with 15. In the Metro, everything is just as expected, of course, with the Devils in first place with 34 points. And then the Islanders at second place, 28. Penguins at 25. Hurricanes, 25. Penguins have won five in a row, and the Hurricanes have lost five in a row. So last week, the Penguins looked dead, and now here they are. Rangers, 24 points. Capitals, 21. Flyers, 19. And the Jackets of all teams, 15 points. You look at the you look at the Atlantic, there's not much here that is as any of us really expected, with the exception of I think many people would have easily said, okay, we could see the Maple Leafs in second place after 20 games, or at least the Panthers, at that point after Thanksgiving. Um, the Bruins, as you know, have just been obnoxious. Okay, they are 18-3. They have a what's that? An 7 point lead in the division over the Maple Leafs, and then 10 over the Red Wings. I don't think anybody's catching them. That is what it is. But now, when you look at the rest of the division, um, and even if you don't want to include the Maple Leafs in that, between third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place, there's 4 points separating teams. The Canadians are obviously surprisingly better. You look at the bottom of the division, I don't think anybody thought Ottawa would be at the bottom. A lot of the offseason chatter I heard was either the Red Wings or especially the Senators might be good enough to make a run and take the spot that Boston was supposedly going to possibly give up because they were old and had a new coach. And yeah, so how that all worked out. Over in the Metro, everybody knew the Devils were going to be in first place, right? Everybody who had that pick and bet on it at Vegas, raise your hand. Um, and then the Islanders. What the so with the top two teams in that division, probably most people didn't pick to make the playoffs. Maybe a few people thought the Islanders might be able to sneak back in. But they're running away with that division somewhat. And then, the Hurricanes have lost five in a row, so they're hurting. The Rangers have been just about as meh as the Panthers. And the Penguins have won five in a row. And any of these teams now, when you look at Penguins, Hurricanes, Rangers, even the Capitals, Red Wings, Lightning, Canadians, Panthers, any of these teams that can get on a 4 or 5 game run, they're going to shoot up in the standings because everything is just packed so tight. Um, I know Panthers are not in the playoff position as of Thanksgiving. We all know what that usually means. But let's give it a little bit of context here and realize that what do you got? You got the Rangers are the last team in right now with 24 points, and they've played 21 games, and the Panthers are out, but they have a game in hand and have 22 points. So it's a virtual tie there. And the Canadians have 23 points and have played one more game. We have a game in hand on there. So we're not in a playoff spot, but if all things being equal, if everybody played equal games, it's possible that we would be in that eighth spot. And I'd be okay with being in that eighth spot right now because we played the Bruins And in case you weren't watching, we already showed that we can play with the Bruins. All right. They beat us the first time. It was a really close game. And then we beat them. So I'm not afraid to play the Bruins. I'm not afraid to take fourth place and get that wild card spot and face the Bruins. Just absolutely not. Um, so all right. I want to move on to the team statistics here a little bit. There are some surprises and then some not so much surprises. So let me take a sip of water. Kachuk is way ahead of everybody else in terms of points. He's got 9 goals, 18 assists, at 27 points. Second on the team in points is Brandon Montour, 4 goals, 15 assists. Obviously, some of that's come from because Ekblad missed time. Then you've got Swaggy Verhage with 11 goals, 7 assists, 18 points. Barkov with 5 and 13 for 18. Bennett, 5 and 10 for 15. Forsling actually ahead of anybody else. We've got two defensemen in there, like in the top six. 2 goals, 11 assists. I think Colin White is having himself a nice little season, whether we're not paying attention to it or not. But sure enough, okay, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. Reinhardt was 6 and 4 for 10. Luosterainen 6 and 4 for 10. Anton Lundell is not scored at the pace I'm sure anybody expected. Um, Hopefully that gets moving. He did finally get a goal the other night. Hopefully he gets moving there. He's not a 10 goal guy, but he may not get the 30 this year, right? So he needs to pick up the pace a little bit. Um, Ekblad missed time. He's 3 and 4 with 7 points. And then you've got Cousins with 2, 4, and 6. Gudis with 1, 4, and 5. Lomberg with 2, 2, 4. Maher with a couple of goals and assists for 4 points. And then the bottom three, it's not pretty, unfortunately. Patrick Hornquist, who none of us want to get rid of, has 1 goal, 1 assist. He's a -5, and he's got a 33% in the faceoff circle. And then when you look at Eric Stahl, he's a -5 with no points, but at least he is at 46% in the faceoff circle. And that's something I wanted to talk about a little bit. Faceoff wise, Kachuk's been a little bit, he's been okay, not great, 42%. Barkov is the only guy over 50%. He's at 56%. Sam Bennett is at 42%. Colin White's at 38. Reinhardt's at 46. Anton Lundell is actually at 48. So that's a bit of an improvement for him. Nick Cousins is at about at 46, and then Hornquist 33 and Stahl at 46. So for everybody who's been asking, why do we keep Stahl? Why do we keep Eric Stahl? He's winning faceoffs at a better clip than most of the team. And that's not good. Sam Bennett needs to be better than 42%. That you can't have your second line center be at 42%. That's not good enough. You've got to be better. So what do I have next up here? I have some team stats. And the scoring stats are pretty much the Panthers, I believe, were where are we? We're 14th in goals for, and we were 15th in goals against. So we're right where you would think we are, which is in the middle of May. Now, if you just if you're wanting to, who had this? After at Thanksgiving, the top three scoring teams in the league are the Bruins, the Devils, and the Golden Knights. Now, maybe you would have thought the Golden Knights would have had an opportunity to be up there, but nobody had the Bruins and Devils being 1-2 in goals for. And why are they putting, what, this is sorted wrong because that's not that's there we go. It's the Bruins and Stars. For whatever reason, they were putting it in a different order. So Bruins 84, Stars 83, then the Knights at 79, the Devils at 77. I don't know what they were sorting it out with before. Panthers are still 12th. All right, so the Panthers are 12th in goals for. And let's see, goals allowed. We want to go the other direction. I believe I already sorted this and we were 15th. Where are we? Where are we? Yeah, 15th. We're right in the middle. So we're right where you expect us to be is in the middle. Now the goaltending. Holy moly. Okay. Um, I've got this sorted by goals against average. And there is Spencer Knight at number 11. Now, you've got a couple of guys with one game played here. So, legitimately, he's more in the top 10, maybe even the top five. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six. He's number six in terms of guys that have played 10 or more games. And I want to draw your attention to something going on with the Devils because this is crazy. You've got this kid, Akira Schmid. I hope I got his name right. He's 22. He's got a 1.24 goals against average. He's only played 4 games, but catch this. All right, his save percentage 9 is 953. In 4 games, he's played 4 games. Oh, go away, you stupid ad. Come on. Let me skip it. Okay. Ah, geez, go away. All right. In 4 games, he's only faced 85 shots in 4 games. That gives you a little bit of an idea what the hell's going on in New Jersey. And if you look, here's Manasek right here. I didn't even see that. Um, and he's played, let's see, 13 games, and he's faced 301 shots. So what's that? That's not even 30 shots a game. That's not even 30 shots a game. That is about 27 shots a game. Holy moly. So, and he's got a 2.1 goals against average. So, I'm gonna have to click off of this page. The ad just keeps coming back up. So, yeah, that's what's going on in New Jersey. I mean, that's just insane. They're not facing any shots, and the shots they are facing, they're saving. Now, the last thing I want to bring up before I stop sharing the screen is this was the prediction video. So this is what I had said. First 20 games, 11, 7, and 2. And had they beaten Columbus, I would have nailed it on the head. They had to lose to the Jackets. Otherwise, I'd have been dead on. That sucks all the way around. I would have liked to have been dead on. It sucks that I was wrong, and it sucks that I was wrong by a game, and it sucks that it was by 1 game to the Jackets. It just there's no good way to put that. So instead of 24 points, then it was 22. So you see what I have there for the second 20 games. The second 20 games, I said we would go 13, 5, and 2. So I had predicted a two game improvement. Now, here's why why I brought the entire thing up is because I wanted people to understand that just because we started off at this pace, we don't have to play absurd hockey to still get somewhere. Okay. 13, 5, and 2 is 13 and 7. Okay, that's good, but you're not killing it. Okay. The third 20 games is 14 and 6. Again, that's nothing like what the Bruins are doing. It's a good pace. Don't get me wrong. Okay. And you'll see here the final 22 games, basically we're 16 and 6, 16, 4, and 2. So, we start putting together 3 wins and a loss, 3 wins and a loss. We're going to get there. And then that still has us at 115 points. So I know people are disappointed right now. Nobody's more disappointed than I am. Oh, there was one more thing with the goaltending. I hate to do this. Ah, geez, now the video is playing. My mouse is so sensitive. All right, the goaltending. Um, oh, and they're still playing ads over here. Geez, the goaltending. There was Spencer Knight at 11. You guys wanted to know why I didn't mention Bubba, right? Well, keep your eye on the names. Keep your eye on the names. There's no Bubba. There's still no Bubba. No Bubba. I'm gonna get a shirt that says no Bubba. No, no Bubba. In the top 50, I didn't go any further. I'm not going any further. If the dude can't make the top 50, he's not even getting a mention in the video. And look, there's some names here at the bottom. I mean, Quick, Sarles, Binnington, Markstrom, okay, are at the bottom there. Fleury, poor guy, right? He's not doing all that great. He's not terrible. Swayman's down there. So there's some people that you would not expect to be at the bottom. So I'm going to close this page out because I've had enough of this ad. Okay. So again, before I close up the share, you see it there. The first 20 games, I said 11, 7, and 2. We end up 10, 8, and 2. the second 20 games. So let's say if I miss by one game, let's put it this way. If every 20 games I'm wrong by one game, we still finished with 107 points and we're going to be in the playoffs somewhere. So let's look at it that way. If I'm wrong by one game every 20 games here, every segment, if I'm wrong by one, okay, we're still going to finish, let's say 50, 25 and 7, which is 107 points. Okay? This is not the end of the world yet. However, it will be the end of the world if if Spencer Knight doesn't keep it up. Let's put it that way. Um, every year you go into a season and you got expectations in one hand, and then 20 games in is the reality. The first two seasons with Bobrovsky were not good. Let's just be honest, okay? It was not good. I don't care about the 10 million. For 5 million, it was not good. So we all thought, okay, maybe Spencer Knight, it's going to be his time, right? Okay. And then Bob last year, I hope I'm wrong in my theory, but he might have poured all the gas he had left into that season, kind of like Luongo did the one year when Yager was here and we made the playoffs. Okay, Luongo had like he was Luongo again, and then that was it. His body said kaputs, right? So based on everything we're seeing right now, Spencer Knight's not only the guy, but we're going to need him to play. I mean, he's at what 2.2 something goals against. I mean, we need him to stay under 2.5. The way that this team is, I mean, look at what New Jersey's doing. Okay, the way that this team is built right now, especially until Duclair comes back, and then we don't know who we're losing to put Duclair in, and we don't know if Duclair is going to have the same speed. There's no way he's coming back at the same speed. He's going to have to play himself into shape. So we are going to need Spencer Knight. And look, if Bob wants to suddenly wake back up, great. But right now, I've moved on. In my head, I'm like, kid, here you go. This time. It's time. Um, so we're gonna need that. Second thing we're gonna need is we need to be better in the face-off circle. Now I know those percentages were not terrible, but they're not that good either. And especially if you watch, even against Boston, we're losing draws at bad times. Okay, at bad times we're losing draws. That we've got to be better. Bennett has to be better. I wouldn't be surprised if that's really the reason why Coach put Lundell at 2C for those few games because Bennett's not been good. 42% is not good enough. You need your top centers to be, at least 46, 47%. You'd prefer over 50, but you can live with 46, 47. Okay. So that's got to happen. And then Um, a couple of guys that haven't been scoring a lot. Lundell hasn't been scoring. We need him to pick it up a little bit. I think the other thing is we saw against the Boston, against the Bruins, the playing consistently. And when the season first started, Chuck was out there hitting everything that moved. And a lot of the other guys were following that. We were like, oh wow, this is great. Now, let's be honest, that's died down a little bit, and that's understandable. You can't run around for 82 games hitting everything that moved. So we did see that we were capable of playing that way. And I know Maurice isn't going to go back to some kind of run and gun type of style, etc. But we need, if we're going to continue to play this style, we need better shot placement. Something has to change with the shot placement. Now, I have a feeling, I suspect that Maurice is preaching hit the goalie and let's try to get rebound goals. I think we need to change that a little bit because it ain't happening. We're hitting the goalie and the goalie's swallowing the puck. I like what we did against Boston, where we've got Kachuk in front of the net. Okay, get these guys in front of the net for deflections. All right. I mean, especially Kachuk. I mean, Kachuk and Reinhardt as well, too. But Kachuk is just like his stick is magic. Let's just face it. I don't know how he gets the puck to do what it does. I mean, it's coming at him and he gets the puck to make a 45-degree turn and go up and wobble. I mean, it's crazy what he's able to accomplish. We need more of that. Um, because especially, as we have more success doing that, that may open up some lanes for guys to take, to get better shots. The shot placement has not been good. And then, of course, the penalties and the power play. And we have been here. When was the last time the power play was really, really good? Right? We had a hell of a stretch last season where it was really heating up, and then Ekblad got hurt. And then it wasn't bad while he was gone, but then when he came back, obviously in the playoffs, it wasn't working anymore. And it's not, I mean, it's been better. It's not terrible, but it's been terrible. And right now it's just kind of mediocre. It's like, okay, that didn't look terrible. I know we're getting a couple of goals here or there. We're going to have to continue that. And I think, I think that doing it at 20 games was this is right about the time when we enough is enough, right? Because we've heard Maurice a couple of times say, "I'm not really worried about we're about wins and losses. We're going to be fine. We're going to get there." And when looking back at what my prediction was when I was only one game off and I still had us getting to 115 points. So there's room there. We're not dead. I think where the surprises are is in the extra teams. Okay, we didn't anticipate being competing against the Red Wings for a top three spot, or the Bruins had just been blown away and gone, or you wouldn't have even considered, like, if you were even looking at the wild card spots, you wouldn't have been thinking, well, let's pay attention to how the Devils are going to be. Maybe the Islanders. So there's some teams in there that are taking up some spots that really not it wasn't anticipated. Okay. Um, and then Toronto's about where I thought Toronto was going to be better. There's no doubt about that. I thought Toronto was going to be this year's Panthers. Um, it's a weird, 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 weird year in the league. There's no doubt about that. So I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to touch on where we are, and I just kind of wanted to get back into that video I did to say, hey, look, I know there's some issues. There's some issues. And there's some good things too. Kachuk is as advertised. Barkov is heating up. Verhage is heating up. Okay, Verhage is just on fire. Lundell's better in the circle. Bennett is scoring. Okay, Colin White, production wise, is giving us what we needed. Mustarainen is giving us the production that we needed. We need to clear back, and we need a fourth line to give us a few more goals. And that's probably the last thing, is that we kind of last year got spoiled a little bit because Mr. Ryan was center in that fourth line. And it was a better fourth line. There's no doubt. I don't want Loose Ryan going back to 4C. Don't get me wrong there. We need him because we lost Marchment. And that's the other thing is, look, we lost a couple of guys, and I was thinking about it this morning. It's like, okay, I've been thinking about how, okay, Kachuk has crossed out Huberto, right? But actually what I'm realizing this morning is that because of Duclair's injury, Kachuk has crossed out Duclair on that top line. And then we got nothing replacing Huberto right now. You see what I'm saying? There's a different way to look at it for right now. So, man, that is going to be such a big boost and such a big key. If he can come back and even be at 85, 90% and play himself into shape and be good to go by the end of the season in the playoffs. Um, Looking at the stats, guys, Look, I love Patrick Hornquist, and Stu is going to slap me upside the head right now. But looking at this roster, because I had thought, well, why don't we let go of Stahl and make some other changes and let Hornquist center that fourth line? Not at 33% in the faceoff circle. That's not good enough. That can't happen. And Stahl's at 46%, and he's not really being a defensive liability. I don't see any way around how, and unfortunately it's probably going to cost us a player too. It's probably going to cost us a prospect. We're going to have to give somebody. Um, I don't know what the hell we're going to do, but I love Patrick Hornquist, and I know his real value is off the ice and the leadership, and he's the guy that always goes and talks to the refs and everything like that. Um, but we're paying 5.3 million for a guy with a goal and 33% in the face-off. So if he was winning face-offs, I mean, it'd be a little bit of a different story. But uh, it's a business. It's a business, and you know, I don't want to say that that's probably the best move to make, but it probably is the best move to make. We don't like it. We don't have to like it. It doesn't have to mean it's a good move, okay? But if I'm honest with myself, and you think about it. Think about it. I mean, we love him, right? But Zito just traded Huberto and Wego. You think he's gonna have a problem moving Patrick Hornquist? You see what I'm saying? The dude is straight up gangster. Okay, he is straight up gangster. There's no way around it, right? So, all right, Panther fans, we're gonna be fine. All right, we're gonna be fine. I'm glad I looked at it again, because even if I was wrong, if I'm wrong one game every 20 games, we still get 107 points, and that's probably gonna be good for third place. Because Boston, I don't know, we're going to catch Toronto. I think we're 7 points behind Toronto. I don't know about that. We'd have to go on a pretty big run, but I still think we could get third. But to be honest with you, to be straight up honest with you, at this point, give me the wild card. Give me the wild card and let's go against Boston. I'd much rather play the Bruins than the Leafs. First of all, the travel's shorter. We don't do a whole Canada thing and all of that. And I mean, Boston's played well, but we've played well. I mean, we're 1-1 again. I'm not afraid of Boston. I'd much rather play the Bruins than a Leaf team desperate, desperate, desperate to finally get past the first round. So give us the. I'll take right now. Right now, give me 100 points and give me that eighth seed. I don't care. Okay, you know what I mean? Don't care. Just get us in, because who would we play? Right? We'd play Boston, and then what are you going to have? You're going to have Toronto and Tampa, or maybe Toronto and the Red Wings, and not have. You see what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. But right now, give me Boston. I'm good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right. What the hell? The game is at 6:30 today. The live stream is at 6 o'clock, and then Stu and I'll be back tomorrow morning with the review, and then football tomorrow afternoon, and then hockey Monday night, and then hockey Tuesday night. And I got a video from Nick coming out, and I'm tired of just saying all that. So I'll see you guys. And I got to go do the grocery shopping too today. That's the worst part of my day. I'll see you guys later.